Middle school is a weird time. It is the period in your life when you finally start to become independent of your parents and you can start making decisions for yourself. However, this includes a lot of awkwardness, and there is always a lack of maturity hindering no matter how old or ready for the world someone may think they are at this age. My first day at Skinner Middle School brought back all of these memories and more of the first use of makeup and some sense of style, the awkward flirting / relationships, and the excessive amount of cologne and hair gel used. And this is the first time someone can have a phone for reasons that are actually relevant to keeping in contact with people. But the reoccurring thing that you have to deal with and you hear all the time is the incessant use of curse words. Lord have mercy, do these kids I encounter every day have dirty mouths? There has to be a cuss word every other sentence or they do not fit the norm. However troublesome this may be, it is middle school. This is a time for everyone to learn boundaries of certain adult things like cussing. Plus, even if you tell them to watch their language or knock it off, they will just start cussing in Spanish, hoping that the teachers do not know what they are saying. There is one difference that I've witnessed that distinguishes my middle school experience on the east side of Denver 6 or 7 years ago, and the current experience in the middle school on the west side of Denver. You see, I have been struggling with what to write my critical incident on because I've had several incidences that have impacted me negatively and positively. Things have occurred with students and with my supervisor that have made my time almost seem not worth it, and I was regretting even signing up for this class in the first place. But it's through a group of boys that I have seen potential and worthwhile notions for why I go to my placement. I've been serving at Skinner Middle School in the neighborhood center where I've spent my time in the spacious and luxurious gymnasium. There, I've interacted with the same group of 20 boys and a couple of girls, which has limited my scope on the type of people that the neighborhood center serves, but it also has allowed me to build concrete relationships with these students. I chose to be more of a friend to them because I saw mostly a scrutinizing staff that does not see them as boys. For the most part, the boys like to play basketball or dodgeball or floor hockey, just typical middle school things, but there have been times in which they have confided in me some issues they have going on within their lives. These problems are issues at home, but they also have a constant awareness of current events happening at such a young age. The group of boys that I have come to admire and have great respect for are all boys who are seen as the troublemakers. They do not have the best grades, they are in a fight about once a week, and they are persistently being yelled at or being scolded by staff at Skinner. While there are times that they are definitely in the wrong and need to learn a lesson, I also think that they are excessively being ridiculed and judged for circumstances that have forced them to grow up a lot earlier than most. The majority of these boys are of Latino heritage, and while most students have their individual special circumstances, these boys are so aware of the world and its problems that they have not had even the chance to grow up and develop. One boy has had his social services called on his family, and he had to live apart from his parents for months so he and his sisters could be safe. Another boy told me that he does not trust the police because he is black and he does not want to end up like Michael Brown or Alton Sterling. Another boy said he may show up 1 week, he may not show up 1 week because Trump may deport his parents. Another boy has told me that lately he cannot sleep due to gang shootouts that happen on his street every night, and do you know what he asked me? He said, "Miss Josie, why is it that the media doesn't cover these shootings? Does my community not matter? Do I not matter?" Simultaneously, I had to explain the truth to him because I did not want to make up a lie since he already was answering his own question, and I had to keep it together so I did not let my heart break as there was not much I could do in that moment. These boys are so attuned to what is wrong with our society and already are realizing that they do not matter in our society as men of color. Now, you may be asking why would I even bother to tell this since our class has already discussed so much of these issues? Well, because it's a reality check. This shit is real, and judging a student or anyone for their experiences or what they've had to deal with just because of where they live or how they were born is wrong. We may not be actively judging and segregating them, but we are mentally and through perpetuating stereotypes of who are the troublemakers in the middle school or the bad people in our society. Skinner has taught me that we have to meet people where they are. This does not mean that we should always cut some people some slack for everything because there has to be some standards to get an education or to hold a job, but I think we are so quick to assume. We have to ensure that everyone, especially young teenagers, are seen as valuable and that their actions may be a cry out for help to assist what they cannot mentally handle alone. The phenomenal part out of all of this is that these boys sure know how to make make each other laugh, and have a good time in an environment that they no longer feel unwelcome or like a problem to everyone else. We as adults, and as any child's peer, need to make all environments like this by opening our eyes more to the issues that someone is facing and then begin to problem solve. I mean, how can one know what the solution is if they don't even know what the problem is? My unique experience at Skinner has made me see all of this and recognize that there are better ways of helping out those who struggle the most in our society. Let us start there, and then we can work on the cussing.